ex-husband cheated on me and abandoned his mother while she was dying, so I cared for her until the end. Now, I have inherited everything from her, and my ex and his mistress are threatening legal action. I moved my ex-Mill Patricia into my house when she got diagnosed. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Her own son, my ex Gary, hadn't visited her in 3 years. Not since he left me and our 2 kids for summer. His 24-year-old yoga instructor. Patricia was more than family. She was my best friend. She taught me to bake her famous apple pie, helped me through 2 difficult pregnancies, and literally held my hand during the divorce. So when hospice said she had maybe 2 months left, I didn't even think twice. I converted our dining room into her bedroom, bought a hospital bed, hired a part-time nurse, learned how to manage her medications. My kids, 8 and 6, would do their homework next to her bed. She'd help them with math problems on her good days. Gary's girlfriend Summer called me exactly twice during those final 8 weeks. The first time, she asked if Patricia had mentioned anything about jewelry or family heirlooms. The second call came 3 weeks later. Just wondering if you guys are planning anything expensive for the funeral. Gary and I are on a tight budget. Not once did either of them ask how Patricia was actually doing. Not once did they offer to visit, to bring her favorite flowers, or to just sit with her for an hour. The day before Patricia passed, she was surprisingly lucid. She grabbed my hand with what little strength she had left and pressed an envelope into my palm. "Open this after I'm gone," she whispered, "and don't feel guilty about any of it. You earned this by being the daughter I always wanted." I ugly cried the entire next day after she passed. My kids made her memory cards. My mother helped me plan the funeral. And that evening, alone in my kitchen, I finally opened the envelope. Inside was her updated will, along with a handwritten letter. Everything. Her paid-off house worth $400K, her retirement savings, the family cottage on the lake, and her late husband's vintage car collection. All of it went to me and my kids. Gary was left exactly $1 and a sealed letter explaining why. He showed up at the funeral 3 days later wearing sunglasses and a designer suit. Summer clung to his arm in a dress that was way too short for a funeral. They didn't cry. They didn't share memories. They sat in the back and whispered to each other. As people were leaving, Summer cornered me by the casket. "We need to talk about Patricia's house," she said, not even pretending to be sad. "Gary's her only child. This whole will situation is clearly elder abuse. You manipulated a dying woman." Gary stood behind her, arms crossed. "My lawyer says you probably coerced her when she was on pain meds. We're contesting everything." I just stared at them. "She updated her will 3 years ago, right after you stopped visiting her." "Bullshit," Gary snapped. "My mom wouldn't cut me out. We had our differences, but I'm her son." His lawyer contacted me the next day, threatened legal action, claimed undue influence, said they'd drag this out for years if needed. So I had my lawyer send over the documentation. Patricia had updated her will with 2 witnesses present, both of whom confirmed she was completely mentally sound. She'd also left detailed notes about her decision, dated and signed every few months for 3 years. But the real kicker? 6 months before she died, Patricia recorded a video statement. She knew Gary would try something. "Yesterday, Gary sent me a text at 2 a.m. This isn't over. My mom was confused at the end. I'm getting what's rightfully mine. You're a manipulative bitch who took advantage of a sick old woman." I didn't reply with words. I just forwarded him the video. In it, Patricia sits in her favorite chair, completely lucid, looking directly at the camera. She lists every time Gary failed to visit, every birthday he missed, every phone call he ignored. She talks about how Summer asked about inheritance before asking about her health. Then she looks straight into the camera and says, "Gary made his choice when he abandoned his family. Now I'm making mine. Everything I have goes to the daughter-in-law who actually loved me and the grandchildren who sat with me until the end. If Gary contests this will, he'll prove exactly why he deserves nothing." Her final words on camera still make me cry. Gary chose his new life. I'm choosing who gets mine. He hasn't responded to my message. Summer blocked me on social media. And their lawyer? He withdrew from the case 2 days ago.